The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo may not be the first time we've seen this story, but that doesn't warrant its outright dismissal.
Canada be damned. I'm going to the Klondike.
The Klondike is Canada.
Giorgio, you be doing just fine, brother.
Passion. It's a wildly intense emotion. It's a double-edged sword which on one hand can bring out all of the beauty in the world, and on the other can ignite a fire that's far less positive. I'm passionate about movies, but there's one movie people seem to be so aggressively passionate about, I feel I've been left out in the cold. That movie is David Fincher's adaptation of the popular Nordic mystery novel, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And although I like this film, I have a sneaky suspicion that my level of passion, and my particular take on the film, is something which will inflame the aggressive fan base, because I'm not going with the prevailing winds. In fact, I may even be kicking the hornet's nest.
I didn't care much for your last report. It felt perfunctory, like your heart wasn't in it.
The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo begins with disgraced journalist Mikael Blomkvist, played by Daniel Craig, whose mishandling of a story has become a media sensation and has forced Blomkvist to seek seclusion. With free time and no money, Blomkvist is hired by Henrik Vanger, a titan of industry played by Christopher Plummer, for an especially personal assignment.
What you really be doing is solving a mystery. You will be investigating thieves, misers, bullies, the most detestable collection of people that you will ever meet. My family.
Discovering this isn't a simple missing persons case, Mikael enlists the help of resourceful tech wizard Lisbeth Salander, played by Rooney Mara, to aid with the bigger case that's afoot.
I want you to help me catch a killer of women.
The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is the first installment of the globally successful Millennium book series. A subsequent Scandinavian adaptation was produced for the big screen, and many fans seem to be pleased with it. However, when it comes to Hollywood's rendition of this story, the same sentiment isn't shared.
Please.
Anecdotally, what I keep hearing from superfans of the original 2009 adaptation about the 2011 adaptation is the same recycled phrase I'm sure you've also heard for a lot of things. And like me, I'm sure you're also tired of hearing, the original is better. When it comes to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo 2011, almost all of the criticism I hear using this phrase is exclusive to Rooney Mara's performance. It's not that Mara turns in a bad performance, but that comparatively, Rooney Mara doesn't hold a candle to Noomi Rapace from the European production. When I heard Mara was being cast in this beloved role, I couldn't help but feel concerned because of how passionate the fan base is, and more importantly, one inevitable trait Mara can't escape from.
I'm concerned you won't like her. She's different.
In what way?
In every way.
Yes, Mara is different, and that would be the case regardless of who the filmmakers cast. The purpose of this video isn't to list all of the ways these performances differ, but how the latter succeeds as its own standalone entity, as well as the film itself where that entity resides. Rooney Mara shocked the world with her casting because she had absolutely no name recognition, yet that probably was more of an asset than a liability. With no known persona to break from, Mara was able to slip into the role of Lisbeth Salander without preconceived notions of what her take on the character may look like from the general public. And it paid off, because the Lisbeth Salander we got is a complex character that's convincingly clever and dangerous, yet juxtaposes being standoffish with being direct.
Something wrong with the report?
Oh, it was quite thorough. But I'm also interested in what's not in it.
There's nothing not in it.
Your opinion of him isn't.
I'm not paid to give my opinion.
So you don't have one?
He's had a long-standing sexual relationship with his co-editor of the magazine. It wrecked his marriage, but not hers. Sometimes he performs cunnilingus.
Not often enough, in my opinion.
No, you're right not to include that.
I know.
It's this complexity with Lisbeth coupled with the simplicity of Mikhail that is the driving force behind the film. Solander's an ambitious go-getter with skills beyond the average person, and Blomqvist is the average person. And it shows in how these strange bedfellows complement each other in a yin-yang partnership while unfolding the layers of a mystery.
Lena Anderson, 1967. A student, raped, stabbed, decapitated.
Okay.
I'm not finished.
All right, we're looking for a serial murderer, but what could that have to do with a teenager living on an island?
She was looking for him too.
What's not a mystery is how the girl with the dragon tattoo was constructed so skillfully. Having David Fincher tell a story surrounding a serial killer comes as no surprise. It also comes as no surprise that he'd make a film that's so frighteningly beautiful, it easily draws you in. The visuals of the girl with the dragon tattoo are impressive in how, for example, the summertime flashbacks are warm and fruitful, and the present wintertime is starkly black and white, with deep shadows and striking white exterior light bouncing off snow to light a scene. This, alongside classical European exteriors with modern practical interior design, makes no confusion as to where exactly we are.
Sweden.
And a modern David Fincher film wouldn't be complete without the masterful musical duo of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, bringing their unique flavor into the fold. In the case of the girl with the dragon tattoo, they opt for an eerie music box aura which feels like it's ripped straight from Aphex Twin's Drux album, but it works. Now, maybe this video isn't what you were expecting or hoped for. I'm sure some of the more passionate fans were hoping for a strong stance on Rapace versus Mara, but that's really not my style. I have my preferences, but I don't feel as if I have the same kind of devout allegiance as the fan base one way or the other. Plus, even if this video was about that, where does Claire Foy fall into that conversation? The bottom line is, the girl with the dragon tattoo does numerous things well. Despite the trilogy before it, the Fincher sequels that were never made, and the soft reboot that was, on its own, the girl with the dragon tattoo is a worthy addition to the Millennium franchise, and a worthy film in general. And that's what I'm passionate about.